A narcissist can handle your hatred. They can handle your tears, your screaming, your messages at 3 in the morning. In fact, they actually enjoy it. There's only one thing they can't handle: your silence. And today, I'm going to explain exactly why and what happens inside them when you simply stop responding. You've probably heard that you need to get even, that you need to show them everything they did to you, that you need one last conversation to close the chapter. I'm going to tell you something that goes against almost everything you've been taught. That final conversation you so desperately want to have is exactly what they're waiting for. Because for a narcissist, any reaction from you, good or bad, is fuel. And silence is the only thing that takes that fuel off the table. Let me explain how their mind works. A narcissist doesn't have a stable internal source of self-worth. They don't wake up in the morning feeling enough. They need that to come from the outside, all the time. Psychology calls this narcissistic supply. Supply is any attention that confirms they still have power over you. And here's the detail that changes everything. For them, negative attention works too. When you fight, when you cry, when you send that message saying, "How could you do this to me?" they receive that as proof that they still occupy a massive space inside you. They don't feel guilt, they feel control. That's why anger doesn't hurt a narcissist. Anger is just another way of telling them, you still matter. And I want you to understand something deeper here. This isn't just a preference, it's an addiction. The narcissist's brain is literally wired to seek your emotional response the way an addict seeks a substance. Every time you react, their brain gets a hit of validation, a rush. And just like any addict, they build tolerance. The reactions that used to satisfy them stop being enough. That's why the provocations escalate over time. That's why the fights get worse, the manipulations get bolder, the boundary violations get more outrageous. They're not losing control, they're chasing a bigger dose. And every time you give it to them, you're confirming that the cycle works. You become the source they keep coming back to, not because of love, not because of connection, but because you reliably deliver the emotional hit they can't generate on their own. Now think about the opposite. You stop, you don't respond, you don't explain, you don't give the final lecture, you simply disappear. For the first time, they send the stimulus and nothing comes back. And that, for someone who sustains themselves on other people's reactions, is unbearable. Not because they love you, but because silence breaks the only thing they thought they had: control over your attention. There's a name for the wound this opens. It's called a narcissistic wound. It's the moment when the image of power they built over you collapses, and their mind can't process that in silence. So pay attention, because what comes next, you need to be ready to recognize. When the supply is suddenly cut off, a narcissist enters what behavioral psychology calls an extinction burst. It's like a vending machine that always gave you a soda when you pressed the button, and suddenly stopped. What do? You press the button more times, harder. They do exactly that. First come the sweet messages, the "I missed you," the old photos, the promises that they've changed. If that doesn't work, the tone shifts. Then comes the anger, the guilt tripping, the "you're being cold," the "after everything I did for you." And if you still don't respond, they recruit other people. Mutual friends, family members, anyone who can carry the message to you. That's not love coming back. That's the button being pressed in desperation. And let's talk about those people for a second, the ones they send. In psychology, they're called flying monkeys. They're the friends who suddenly text you saying, "He's really hurting, maybe you should just talk to him." The family member who tells you, "You're being too harsh, they really do care about you." These people usually aren't malicious. Most of them genuinely believe they're helping. But what they don't realize is that they've been recruited as tools in a strategy. The narcissist told them a version of the story where they're the victim and you're the one who disappeared without reason. And now these well-meaning people are doing the narcissist's job for them, bringing the stimulus to your door when you refuse to open it. Recognizing this is critical, because it's often through these third parties, not the narcissist directly, that your silence gets broken. You feel guilty, you feel pressured, and you respond. Not to them, but through them. And once you do, the cycle restarts. And here's the mistake that throws it all away. Most people endure the silence for a week, 2, 3, and right at the moment the narcissist is about to give up, they respond. Just one message, just to sort things out, just so they don't seem rude. And that's when everything starts over. Because that single reply teaches their brain one thing: it still works. I just need to push harder. Silence only has power when it's complete. It's not a punishment you apply and then lift. It's a door you close and don't open again to check if they're still knocking. Now, I'm not going to pretend this is easy, because here's what nobody tells you about silence. It doesn't feel like victory at first. It feels like withdrawal. You'll feel the urge to check their social media. You'll replay conversations in your head, wondering if maybe you were too harsh. You'll have nights where the loneliness feels heavier than anything they ever did to you. And that's normal. That's your nervous system recalibrating after being hijacked for months, sometimes years. The discomfort you feel isn't proof that you made the wrong choice. It's proof of how deep the entanglement was. And every single day you sit with that discomfort, instead of reaching for the phone, you're taking back a piece of yourself that you forgot existed. But I want to be honest with you about something. Silence doesn't exist to punish the narcissist. If you stay silent just waiting for their reaction, you're still tethered to them, just in a quieter way. Real silence is for you. It's the space where your mind finally stops being invaded, where you start hearing your own thoughts again instead of theirs. The fact that it destroys their control is just a side effect. The real goal is for you to rebuild yourself. So, if you're in that moment right now, receiving the messages, feeling the temptation to respond just once, remember this: silence isn't you being cruel. It's you finally choosing your own peace. And that's the one thing they'll never know how to fight. If this video made sense to you, drop one word in the comments: silence. I read every single one. And subscribe to the channel, because understanding how these people work is the first step to never being held hostage by them again. See you in the next one.